I seen an article that was talking about loneliness with the males, but what was striking was when they talked about the male loneliness, when they got a chance to talk to men like just on the street that was steady like doing their thing, walking down the streets, and it was funny because nothing equated to a man being lonely when they was talking. They was asking the dudes. They was like, "Are you lonely? Like, do you feel like you're lonely today, not having a companion, having somebody to basically come home to?" And damn near, tell the truth, you know what's crazy? Only one guy was like he felt lonely, but then his story ended up changing at the end where he was like, honestly, I actually like it this way. Like that's how he ended it. Well, I actually like it this way. Um, he's able to get more done. But what they was asking the guys on the street about being lonely, like what was their thoughts? And what was striking was it's the same feeling that I felt when I heard them talking. So I knew exactly where they was coming from. Most of the guys, most of them, I say maybe about 60% of them had relationships, but they, either got broken up, they was broken up, or basically whatever happened, they was no longer in a relationship no more. And when they asked the guys that, most of their stories were honestly they was happier doing solo stuff because they was able to get more done. They dictated their own schedule and it wasn't on a time frame. And also he said that it made them feel more fulfilling because when they was out, they was able to be comfortable, be their self, and it was not catering. And it's sad because when you hear these things, I don't think it's sad. I think it's sad when it comes to the combination of two people coming together, a man and a woman coming together. I think that's part is sad because we have lost that. But the sad part about it is men are starting to become more comfortable of just doing solo. And I remember a time in my life where as though I never wanted to do solo stuff. I just wanted to just do stuff like, what I mean, as a couple. It wasn't a thing of even if I was in a relationship. I'm going to the movies, I had to take a joint with me. I'm going to on a trip, I had to take somebody with me. But what was striking was I started learning this at a younger age. When I was around 23, 24, I started going places by myself. And what I end up noticing is going on like trips by myself, I had more fun. And I don't think it had any. Well, no, I'm lying. I would say I don't think it had anything to do with me just going by myself and not having nobody. But you know what I realized? I was able to meet people and also be able to mingle and not have to worry about anything. And I think that's kind of dangerous because not dangerous in a bad way. I'm talking about dangerous meaning like in a good way. Like it's dangerous because you start to understand that, yo, you find more peace and you find more balance in doing stuff by yourself. And it becomes scary because you start to be conditioned to only want to do stuff by yourself, whereas though you don't tolerate a lot of mess when somebody says something. And I think that's also a good trait to have, particularly in men. Men are really set up to always worry about everybody else and cater and cater and cater to the point where as though our needs are not being met. You always hear needs are not being met on the other side. But nobody ever really talks about a man's needs being met. And the sad part about that is when you don't see men needs being met, we tend to stray and we go outside the box and we start doing other things. And next thing you know, when a man starts to find his self-worth, he starts to look at himself in the mirror and say, yo, certain things I'm not going to tolerate no more. And when a man actually gets to a point where as though he don't tolerate certain BS anymore, he start to move different, extremely. That's why when they talk about male loneliness, you find it that you're starting to see more young dudes playing video games. Not to say it's good or bad. I'm not here to say what's good or bad. Because at the end of the day, another man can't tell another man what's bad. especially when he's comfortable in his own skin. Like at the end of the day, we all want to be successful. Most of us want to be successful, but a lot of us do a lot of things, particularly for the women. And I understand that I love the woman, but at the same time, men do have to start to find their sense of worth and be able to move a lot different than the way they were moving before. Cannot move the same way and think you're going to be able to have a good outcome, especially when you know it's going backwards. This is why we're in an era now where as though a lot of women keep mentioning they want a man to make a lot of money, but they don't even understand what that means. They just see dollar signs, not understanding that in order to make a lot of money means that you're not going to be home a whole lot. This is not TV. This is not just Instagram where though you can see the trips. That's why you see a lot of trips you see women on, and they're mostly not in a relationship. They're in situations or been flown out or Dubai. They doing all type of things in the background that men ain't dumb about. Like especially men that was able to live out here, like was able to run the streets a little bit. They understand women. They understand that women are not rolling their money how they portray. It's not. It's not what it is. It's the things that you see that goes on the ground, but it's the things that go on in the background. Like who's holding the camera? Who flew you out? Did you really pay 10,000 in order to go to this country? No. You got some that do, but it's a smaller percentage of the ones that was able to afford that. So when they talk about male loneliness, males are not just sitting around here walking around unhappy. You're not. It's the problems when they say a male is lonely, the most lonely males are the ones that stripped of their money, their funds, going through the child support and the alimony phases when the courts are just running through men. Now, when you get to that point where as though you're being stripped of your finances, then that's where the loneliness and everything feeling like left behind can come into play, where as though it can become dangerous. When a man starts to feel like he's hopeless and he's down to the point he feel like no one loves him no more because he's losing so much and he don't see a way out, that's the part about loneliness and some men that cause them to go off the deep end. But a man that's just living by himself and doing his own thing but has nobody around is normally not a lonely person. He might look like he's lonely, but if you look at his life, he's happy and content with doing the things that he want to do, living his life, enjoying, going places that he want to go to. He enjoying that life. Has his own place, his own home, have his own car. At the end of the day, you start to see more and more women reaching out to men like that, bothering them. And next thing you know, you realizing that he don't even want to be bothered. He just want to pay for play. And that's what it seems that it's looking like today. Dudes are paying to play. That way you can go home. It ain't to think of he's just tricking it off. At the end of the day, a lot of dudes today that choose to be alone don't want the headache of just spending their money up and then feeling like they're going broke, all because the benefits are not there for them. It's not really beneficial for a man to be in a relationship. They can give you all the points of why he should be in a relationship. He should find a wife. You're seeing so many women telling a man, this is the sickening part. You see many, many women telling men how they should find their wife because it can better them. But you can never ever find a reason why they're saying that. You know why they're saying it, but you're not able to understand the reasoning behind it because it's like it's not making sense. But then you find out the real reasoning is because they're the ones that benefit. I don't know if men, if you ever been married. This is a married man talking, and I can tell you, I do not see a benefit. Only way you ever see a benefit to a man being happy, being married, is if that woman is making him feel like $1,000,000 and she's also contributing some type of way inside the household that makes the household comfortable. Whatever how you want to look at it. But at the end of the day, for most men, majority of men out here, being alone is so enjoying and so pleasing because you dictate your own schedule. And when you dictate your own schedule, you move at your own beat. Don't let nobody deprive you of your time and your resources. And that's the main thing out here about being alone. Is your resources does not get swallowed up off of emotions and always trying to please somebody. So look, man, stay strong out here. Do your thing, all right?